Are we live?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, welcome to the Talk of the Town. I've been away for 2 weeks, but I'm back. And today I have Mr. Terry Dumphord from the Voyage Movement.
Peace.
How you doing today, Mr. Terry?
I'm blessed.
That's good. So we can ready to get started. I want to ask Terry a little bit about his organization. Can you share the story behind the founding of your organization?
The Voyage Movement. The Voyage Movement was birthed in prison. Found myself in federal prison, and I just wanted to do something different. So I started to change myself for the better, and I wanted to come back to my community with something that I can pour back into them that was positive. So I'm in there, and I created this organization called Voyage Movement. One of my sellers from North Carolina, he drew this logo. So it went from a piece of paper all the way to a hoodie. I got it even on a chain. It stands for Voices of Youth Administering Global Education. So it was founded, yeah.
So you are the actual founder of this organization, or is there chapters with this organization?
Yeah, I'm the founder of the Voyage Movement outside of God, who gave it to me.
Okay.
To you, so yes. But we do have different chapters too, though.
Okay.
So we have, chapters in Oakland, California, Chicago, St. Louis, and Cincinnati right now.
Okay. What are the main goals and missions of the Voyage Movement?
When we first started, like I said, it stands for Voices of Youth Administering Global Education. So, me, I was just thinking to come back to my neighborhood and really change the lives of all those youth that may have looked up to me for wrong reasons, right? So we started off with a free summer camp at our local park. And, that was kind of like showing me that, we can actually get out here, and people was respecting me reintroducing myself back to my community in a positive way. So I reached out to a lot of community leaders, and it's just been growing beyond that thought. But my original thought was to go back to my neighborhood and change it for the better. Okay. Now it's grown, and we have a lot of more branches off the tree, I would say.
Okay. So how's the organization grown and elevated since you started it?
So, like I said, we started from the summer camp. Then we grew out to, we bought a local business that used to be a black-owned grocery store. We turned that into a multi-purpose center. So it's very kid-safe and kid-friendly. Youth get to come in there. It's about 30 to 50 youth come in there every day. They get access to free Wi-Fi. All they got to do is sign their name. They get free drinks, free snacks. We also offer a food pantry and a clothing closet. Across the street, we got a community garden where people can go there, pick fresh produce, and give it out to the community. We got a partnership with Paris High School where we bought a daylily farm. They had thousands of different daylilies. So we partnered with Paris High School's FFA, and we bought this daylily farm, transplanted inside the same park that we do the camps, and we teach entrepreneurship, gardening, weeding, all of that through that partnership.
So this is you target, like, I guess what I'm trying to say, this is open to all kids in the community. I mean, you just don't, like, with my organization, I solely deal with families that's been impacted by gun violence.
You're very specific, goal specific. Well, our overall statement is to uplift and empower our community, right? So that's a broad umbrella, right? You uplift and empower your community. So that means wherever I find you, I'm trying to uplift and empower you. So with that being a broad mission statement, it's led us in a lot of different directions because there's no, like you said, no lane. So we in all lanes, but none at the same time. So let me finish. So we went into prison ministry. So first I just started writing people in prison, putting out posts. Somebody, especially around this time of the year. I just made one. You got a loved one locked up, send me the address. And I just write letters to everybody, whoever they send.
Spiritual things, or
just
things.
The first one is just an introduction to who I am, my story, and who family member told me to reach out. So we did that. Then we into the courts where we work with juveniles and young adults. We got reentry programs. We in the schools mentoring. We got sober livings now. We all the way abroad. We worldwide now. We global. We in Africa helping a small village in Africa called Tehe Kwame outside of Accra in Ghana. We built a playground, we provide medical supplies, and we help them with fresh water where they don't have to walk miles to the river to get water. So it just continues to expand way beyond what I thought it was going to be, because like I told you, I just want to go to my little neighborhood. I'm from Paris, Kentucky, and impact that. I never thought it was going to be a global thing, but in the name it says Voices of Youth administering global education. Gotcha. So I didn't even understand the mission of my name until God like, nah, this is a global situation. And then we started in 2016. By 2019, 2020, we was global, meaning we had a global impact. We've been in Nigeria, sending shirts and socks. So it just continues to expand.
Have you actually went to Africa yet?
That's on the bucket list. So
okay.
This year, 2025, we're making it happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's good. That's real good. That's real
I'm going there
good.
this year for sure.
That's real good. So who are the primary beneficiaries of your program?
The lost and the forgotten. Like anybody out here that's struggling, that needs a hand up, we gonna reach our hand out, right? So, but the youth are first. Like the youth is primary. We deal with uplifting and empowering youth to make them leaders today. So that's our main goal. That's the foundation of the movement, the Voices of Youth. So we try to put a voice in the youth that's righteous, though. We try to put a voice in the youth that's uplifting, that's morally sound. So when we get these kids, we do brain surgery on them. You know, you come in, because a lot of them, they want to be on demon time and they want to be on all these different times. So we try to take that mindset out of them and put a God-like mindset in them, and hopefully they carry that out.
Well, can I ask you something? Because I for instance, I think that we can, save the children, uplift them. What about the parents?
Yeah, we actually working on that.
The parents involved,
Yeah, so that was the thing when we really started working with the youth. We was like, they ain't the problem. The parents is the problem. So we had this, I think one of your questions about coming in election. So when we started working with the youth in the courts, we wanted to see, and we do this too though. We said, nah, we need to see what the parents need. And when we started to see what the parents needed, we seen that, they need help. They need a village. Because a lot of times you find single mothers and they getting all the blame. What a dad at then? And where's the uncles and the cousins that's supposed to be raising this child up, right? So I hear all of this. So we provide those wraparound services. We'll come and bring food and clothing and, man, what size shoe you wear? And we took 10 kids out and gave them jobs this summer, So we try to help them where we make it available to have those mental health services and stuff like that through some of our partnerships. Because sometimes, those traumas, they go untreated and it gets passed down to generations. So we try to really address those as well.
So when you're working with the school system, I know this was not in one of my questions, but not in the school system, working in the court system. Mm-hmm. I'd like to understand how they work with you. Because in my case, the young man that I can't speak too much on, but the young man that murdered my child, he has 2 other siblings. And right now, they're in I think they're at MLK. Okay. So, and that being said, I don't think anybody's working with them because, see, what I do, I follow that family that took my, took my life, put it that way. Absolutely. And I realized nobody is really helping those kids or those families that are on the other end. Right. So I'm trying to see how the system downtown is working, because you understand what I'm saying? Because nobody's getting them help.
They got stuff in place, right? Like, I initially started working with the courts as a servant. I went and I signed up to be an advocate through YAP. It was Youth Advocate Program, right? And what it did is they made me get the worst kids in the city, right? Because they like, oh, we need young black men. Can you? I'm like, yeah. Some of them already knew. Are
these kids that maybe in DDJ?
Or they in the system. So they got, the only way you're going to come into YAP unless you in the court system.
Gotcha.
The court orders you to come to the program. So that's how I got introduced into the court system here. I was already doing that in Paris, though. Okay. I was already doing alternative sentencing and stuff like that in Paris. But when I came here, I said, let me go and work for a program where it's dealing with the youth that's getting in trouble. It only makes sense, right? So that introduced me to the judges. I'm in there speaking on behalf of the youth. I'm advocating. I'm a youth advocate, so I'm advocating for the youth. What I noticed is they had programs like TIC. That's a program that provides substance abuse and mental health. They had other programs, and even in every school, they got a therapist in there. They got different things, but you gotta understand, they getting paid to do this job, and the check come first, right? And a lot of times when you doing stuff for money, if it ain't your passion, then it ain't your purpose, and this person ain't gonna get what they need from you, right? Because you're doing a job. Every day we wake up, we do this with purpose, so it ain't my job, man. I can't stop doing this. You know what I mean? Especially from where I came from, but my job every day is to get up, uplift, and empower my people, right? So you can't pay me enough money to do it, because I done it for free since I started. You know what I mean? I've done this for free for years.
So did you all hear that? He done this for free for years.
For years. I've been out 8 years now, 8.5. You know what I mean? But I prayed and I said, God, you know, let me earn a living doing this. So he started opening up more doors to allow me to get paid to do what I would do for free. So I don't work a day in my life because I done it for free and I still do it for free. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. So
are there any specific success stories that you have or moments that stand out to you since you've been doing this?
I mean, there's many, you know.
But I mean, one that really stands out that is a success story, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a couple. One, this young man, his name is Divide Washington, right? So we doing our reentry program. The judge called me. He like, man, I got this guy, man. He's hard, man, and he's just a rough dude. I want you to go visit him, and let me know what you think. So I go. Now I know when he says his name, I'm like, Divide's hard. I mean, I know this kid. I ain't knocking Divide, but I said, so if this is the worst y'all dealing with, we good. Because I know this kid. I've been knowing him all his life. So I go in there. I do the assessment with him. I call the judge back. I'm like, yeah, so what's next? He's like, well, he got a $35,000 bond. I'll let you sign him out on the surety. I said, what? He said, I'll let you sign him out. I said, you know I'm a felon, right? Like, what do you mean you gonna let me sign a man out? He said, if you want him, I'm gonna let him go with you. You mentor him, and you go down there and sign him. I said, man, let me know when the paperwork's done. I go sign him out. And he starts to work with our program. And at first he was kind of, I said, look, don't play. All you gotta do is the next right thing. That's what we teach him, right? Keep it simple. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care nothing. Just do the next right thing. Because in order to do the next right thing, you had to be coming off something right. So just train your mind. Working, been off paper for I think he might have been off paper for a year or two now. He got a nice family, 2 more babies now. So he got, I think one's on the way. So he's gonna have 3. And he was able to trust the process because it wasn't easy.
So you I guess what I want to ask you too, did you stay, was there something like, I guess, did you put him through a program? Did you stay up on it?
Yeah.
And the only reason why I asked that, because in my case, they failed this young man that killed my son. He had an ankle.
You telling me that
he had an ankle,
right.
monitor on his ankle. They let it off, took it off a month before he actually killed my child. So I'm wondering, you know, like how
well,
you
we got
you know
curriculums and stuff. So we got curriculums in place. So we did our social development class, did our spiritual development. He came down. Our meal server, we did a thing at the time, and we still do it every year where we do weekly meals. So he had to come down, feed the community. Now he's reintroducing himself to the community. They looking at him like, is that dude, you should just tell me, yes, him. Now he's serving you food. Same young man that was serving you something else, you know what I mean? So we repurposed them. And once they started seeing that, oh man, they respect me more on this side than that side, we had the judges come in and fed all of them meals, and the prosecutors, they couldn't believe. Look.
So this the judges in Paris?
It was in Paris,
okay,
though.
Got you.
So because I'm telling you about our meals.
Okay,
so listen.
I'm with you.
So when I go and tell one of the lead prosecutors who the young men are that's over there serving, she like, there's no way that's Jalen Owens over there. That's Devon Stanley, because she the one sentenced all of these guys.
Gotcha.
Then they serving her food, and she ends up, you know, looking at the fruits of their labor, and I don't think she had anything to do with his situation, but Jalen Owens has benefited from that situation. A lot of my other kids benefited from that service of them, you know, just showing up every day. We put them in the papers, because every time we did a meal, we took a picture, put it in the paper, thanked our sponsor. You know what you do. And they started seeing, like, man, I'm in the paper for some pot. Last time I was in the paper, they had my charges in there. You know what I mean? Last time I was on the news, they had me. So you just repurpose them. And you give them a new identity, and they embrace that, and they better for it.
And you said it's been 3 years since
he's been out longer than that, though.
Okay.
But I'm talking about all paper, just
now,
got his whole life back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's solid young man.
So now, do you still go back and kind of check up on him?
He just called me on the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Like here's a beautiful thing about, and I didn't know it was gonna be that way. They be like, man, I ain't going nowhere. It's the movement. I'm in here for life. Like, we a brotherhood. We a family. So most of the guys, if they really buy in and they ain't playing, they stay in. Because they understand what we doing. They're like, nah, man, this is where I'm supposed to be. And a lot of them, they don't have that family. They don't just have that guy that they know genuinely cares about, don't want nothing from you, but for you to win. So when they get around that energy, it's magnetic. They be like, man, what you doing next? What's the next thing you doing? Where you at?
They really involved. Hands-on, want to be hands-on and everything. You give them, they have a purpose. They have hope now.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what a lot of them don't have. How is your organization funded?
Man, we getting it out the mud, man. Like, I've been working the job since I got out. So for the first 3, 4, 5 years, you know, this money's coming out of my pocket. But, you know, we have awesome community partners like Dan Cummins. Anything I need, if I call them, they're going to cut me a check for whatever, you know. They just cut a check for $5,000 to pay for our lights and stuff for the center all year. Hunch Brothers Pizza, they're another sponsor. They gave us $2,000 for the turkey giveaway. And that was half of what we raised. We raised $5,000. You see? So, but they Paris alumni, right? But these are people that really not necessarily affected by what. So all of these are community partners that they see the work though, and they like, man, we respect what you're doing. We always gonna support you. So when we do events like that, we get funding because we ask for donations. But now we've been a 501c3 for a year and a half. Okay. So that gives you them opportunities for grants. And I didn't want to deal with the grants at first because I still had that mentality. I don't want their money. They're gonna get in my business. Well, it don't matter. If your business is good business, then you can get in it. So I had to get out of that mindset because I'm like, people kept saying, man, the stuff you're doing, you can get $5-6 million worth of funding, man. You're doing that much work. So I had to readjust my mentality, and now we starting to, this year, I think this next year coming, we're going to really go for some bigger grants. Just because the fruits of our labor, you know, say that we can do that.
So, like I said, I know you was based out of Paris. So what brought your mission here to Lexington?
Well, I grew up kind of in Lexington. My uncles lived on Ward Drive. We grew up out North End. My aunties lived in Green Acres and all of that, right? So coming up, we up here all day, every day. Ain't number 15 minutes, right? So I never really looked at it no different. Like, I'm from this area. But, and a lot of my family's up here. I got a lot of little cousins, a lot of family up here too. And I live up here. I've been living up here since I got out. A lot of people thought I lived in Paris. I've been living in Lexington since I've been out of prison.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Right, my daughters go to school, you know what I mean? So I live here. But that's not the reason why. So I think back in 2020, one of my good friends now, Dora Lee, comes down. He said, man, you know, God told me to come down here, right? So we doing, he keeps showing up. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. You can show up, doors open, right? So he keeps showing up. Now, he's from Lexington. And at the time, my little cousin got killed downtown in 2018 on July 1st, right? Right there by Mama Tequila's, right in front of Mama Tequila's, right? So I sit there and I watch the trial. And we all know this dude. I watched this dude beat the charge, right? And I seen this dude after. And God was working on me like, yeah, there you go right there. What you gonna do? I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna let you handle it. Because I know who I used to be. So he wouldn't even made it past that day if I was who I used to be. But God was working on me because he was there. I mean, it's easy. So look, I watched that situation. I'm like, man, I watched my auntie and how crushed she was and all my family that was sitting in that courtroom. We know the evidence, the cameras is at the gate, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, this dude's about to walk out and live his life, and But anyway, so that affected me.
As it should.
My grandmother, before I was even born, gets murdered in front of my mama, her 2 sisters. So gun violence has been in my history before I even got here. Like that sorrow, that trauma, my mama still deals with that to this day. I grew up with that. She used to cry to me about, in front of her though. She's 12 years old. So, dealing with that, really growing up and realizing what that impact was, like, whoa, y'all been through it all, right? And then when me and Dora was sitting here, we were sitting in my center, I was like, you know what, man, it's time to go up election. Because at that time, it's bad. Like, it's getting bad up here around that time. Like, the numbers is high with the gun violence, right? So I called up Julius Johnson. I had him meet me at my center. Corey Dunn, I had him meet me at my center. Damian Rowley, Divine Karama. And I had already met Gio, right? And he's not a native of here, though. So I had them come down to my center. I'm like, man, listen, I'm going to come to Lex. I see what y'all doing. I know Julius already. I didn't know Corey like that, but Corey, Doyle knew him. I didn't know Damon. I didn't know Divine. I think he had just got the job downtown. So I called him down to my center. I'm like, look, I'm ready to come up there. This is what I'm doing already. You see what we on. I'm coming to Lexington, man. I want to, but we got to do this together. So as men, we sat down, and they like, all right, man, let's go. So first thing we do, the first place we go is to MLK. How ironic is that? We go to MLK, they let us in the doors. So at that time, they had did a news story on me called Hometown Hero. They play that in front of the kids as an introduction. It's who these guys are. So they know about the family. You know, it's a story. A Hometown Hero, he went from this to this. So we mentoring, because nobody was in there at MLK. They had mentorships. Nobody was over here where these guys got ankle monitors on. When we was in there, it was guys in there where they was young, middle schoolers with shootings. You know what I mean? So we in there. And like I said, then I go to YAP. So it was just that. It was that, all right, I see who's saying they doing what they doing up there. I'm going to holler at them, let you know I'm coming up here. Ain't nobody trying to step on your toes, but it's work that needs to be done, and we need to do it together.
So let me ask you this. So do you work with, since you said what you was brought here for and the people that you brought on your team and everything, so your community work, did that bring you to One Lexington for do you work with the crisis response team?
Yeah,
Can you explain that a little bit to me? Because you kind of opened up that door for me when you brought some of these people in, and I didn't really know that you had, you know what I'm saying, invited them, down there.
See,
so are you working in, because I know that they do have the One Lexington crisis
I think about a year or
team.
so ago, they created that, and they asked me to be a part of that. So yes, I'm a part of that crisis response team. Can you tell me a little
bit about that? Because I don't know.
This is a group of individuals that anytime there is a shooting and a victim involved, it don't even have to be a victim. If it's some property damage involved, they will let us know about it, right? And let's say they tell me, man, look, there's a shooting over here, such and such. Can you respond to it? Here's the information. So I'll call that family and be like, listen, I heard something happened over there. Is everybody okay? What do you need as a resource? They might have their windows shot out. We replace the windows. They may have car damage. We help with the car damage. A kid in there might have some mental health issues, so we provide mental health.
And this is everywhere. You targeting wherever the shooting is, the neighborhood in Lexington. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, whether it's on the south side, north side, east side.
There is an age purview though, because One Lexington has an age purview that they deal with, and I think it's 13 to maybe 29. So if you fall within there, I think because that's where their program is geared towards, you automatically get the services. If you don't fall within there, then they have other community partners that'll help you. So you might not get that service directly from them. They may say, well, Lexington Rescue Mission helps with da-da-da-da-da. Then they'll connect you with that service. Such and such helps with this. So, you know what I mean? It just depends on who it is and the age. Because there is an age purview that they deal with. And the only reason
why I ask that, because I have, I deal with a lot of mothers, and I have mothers that say that they've never been reached out to. Nobody has ever... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I be wanting to,
and
then you have to look at
And I know you said
how
this
long
just
ago
started
it
a
was.
year. Yeah, but
yeah.
I know you said this started a year ago. Well, I know some mothers that their child was killed in that year ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just trying to have an understanding of how, how do you all do that? I mean, do they always get in contact with you when because
there's multiple people on there, so
it may not be you per se. It could be, you said Divine,
it's about 4 or 5 people
whoever
on there.
So, I got
but
you.
that person has to do their job too, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So
about
you,
that.
You do your job.
I mean,
basically,
I don't
okay.
play.
I'm just,
I don't
that's
play
what I'm
when it
saying.
comes to that.
Okay.
As soon as I get it, I'm on it the next day if it ain't too late that day.
So let me ask you something. Do you have any plans in the future of collaborating or partnering with other organizations?
Yeah, well, this year was like every year I kind of pray and I'm like, what's our mission for the year? Like, the year we went global with Africa, I knew we was going because that was what he said. So this year was to create more community partners, right? So we've been doing that, and I know from our inception, that's what we've done. We've collaborated with community partners, right? And with us, sometimes that ain't the easiest thing, man, because we don't know how to just connect with what we agree on. Like, your whole mission ain't my whole mission, but I can help you here and I can help you there, right? So I've been learning that this year, like, dang, like, why did this partner fall off and why did this one not work? And I'm like, because y'all not supposed to merge completely. Y'all supposed to just be an extension of each other. And now, if you know what I mean, but you're supposed to be still connected. But your whole mission ain't my mission. Her, you know what I mean? So you got to be able to stay within your mission, but still also be able to support somebody else's, and not be like, you ain't supporting this.
Divided.
You know what I mean?
Not be divided.
Yeah, like don't let that divide you. They don't buy, because I can't give you 100% of me, because I got to give myself 100%. But what do you need? And then we just try to build. So I've been doing that this year, and I've made a lot of community partners in this area and in other areas. We across the nation now, so that's key.
So do you believe the system provides enough support for families affected by gun violence?
I mean, nah. But, my thing, I'm more of we have to create our own system to provide that support, right? Because the system ain't never been set up to help us, right? We know this. It's like we keep going to this system that tells you we don't want you, we don't want to help you, we don't even want y'all here. We try to take over, like, we ain't never liked y'all. We made you drink out of this faucet versus that faucet. We made you go to they all, you know what I mean? But we keep begging, and I'm like, look, we got to be independent. That's why we bought up parts of our neighborhood, and we trying to rehab it so that we can have our own. We got to create systems within ourselves to be able to support each other, too. And
so let me ask you something real quick. So why I just am curious, I have to ask.
Come on with it.
I never see, like, I guess more females that have their own organizations that you work with. Why is that? Because I don't see that. I don't see, and I know you mentioned, and I'm not trying to, because I really want him, because this is the second time that I've called him out, and I do want him to, Corey Dunn. I heard you, he went out there and talked about women are not, black women shouldn't be leaders. They wouldn't make good leaders. And I don't agree with that, but I want to have a better understanding. You're not biased, right? Meaning, when it comes to women, you don't mind working and connecting and we, doing things together. Because I see that, to be honest, in order to move forward with what we're trying to do, why wouldn't, you want to work hands-on with a mother that's been impacted by gun violence or been through went down that road or traveled, or be able to help more, or be able to speak more, because she can tell you or show you her pain or what she's going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, everything got to have balance. So there's no way you can. First of all, the women been holding down our communities forever. Every time I went to an all men's meeting last summer, and there was more women in there. It was an all men's meeting. And I told them, they asked me to come up there and speak. I'm like, this is the problem right here. It's a men's meeting and the women showing up. So I don't even get into that. That don't even make sense to me, but that's my brother. He's entitled to his own opinion.
Right.
But I don't know if you're talking about me. I collaborate with women. I got women that works with me closely.
Okay.
So
I don't know. That's what I'm, I don't know. That's what
my president's Nadia Hutsu. That's my cousin.
I know Nadia.
Like, she's my president. You will see her in all the pictures. The last post I made, she's in the paper. All my aunties work with me. I got a young lady who has Walker Construction and Circle of Life, Tanya Walker. She works with me. Ebony, what's her last name? Romero works with us through mentoring. What's her name? We tried to partner with Rima Word Foundation, Kiva and them. It didn't work out, but we got love for them. What's her name? Tanya?
Lindsay.
Is that your girl?
Sisters and Supporters Working Against Gun Violence.
We just gave her 5 or 6 turkeys during our turkey drive. I mean, you might have picked them up.
I did.
So, I mean, why are you asking me?
Okay, but you're on the top of the town. People don't know this, so they need to hear this.
Me as if
you know what I'm saying? They need to hear this.
Nah,
That's why we here.
We can't do nothing without women.
Yeah, and they just need to hear this. That's
we
what
know
we are
y'all
here for.
So it's the balance. You gotta have that masculine and that feminine, because y'all the ones that's gonna take the ideal to the level of outstanding. Like,
let me ask you this: so, what changes would you like to see in policy, our community programs? As far as what I'm saying, moving forward.
I just see when I'm in that courtroom, I need us to go in there and be like, these are our babies, right? Like, give me my babies. Nah, you ain't sending them, you know what I mean? So, for us, first, our mentality has to change when we in these settings. You're not going to tell me what you're going to do with these babies. I'm going to tell you what you can do with these babies or you can't. So, the tone has to change. They got too much power over our babies. I just got a call before I came out here that CPS is trying to take this lady's kids. And I'm like, no, they ain't either. We need to meet with her, but she has to be willing to do the work in order.
That's the key.
Right. Because I don't got time to waste.
Yeah, that's the key.
I ain't going to be showing up to court for you and you're going to be going back. They told you don't smoke no weed around these babies. They told you, you know what I mean, give them a couple clean urines. If you're not willing to do those things, don't be mad at me when I ain't willing to waste my time to come help you. So we just got to do a better job of policing ourselves, taking care of our neighborhoods, taking care of our babies, and then we can create the policy. So we got to start creating policy. But that starts with what we do in our own communities, though.
And let me ask you this. So I know that once again, I hope people are listening and they do know what the Voyage Movement stands for.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want to say or add to, to make mothers and families and people have a better understanding? Because I think what is happening with a lot of mothers and families, I think they solely, thought that the Voyage Movement worked with families impacted by gun violence. You see what I'm saying? And I think now, but you see,
but that's not the whole. That's not the whole of what we do. Like that's just a portion of what.
Yeah, because you said you really into prison ministry and.
We do a whole lot. If a family that's been impacted by gun violence calls me personally, Terry Dumphord, and I
listen to this.
And I come to them on behalf of the crisis prevention team, that does not mean the Voyage Movement, because I'm the founder, is coming on behalf of that, right? I don't have funds or resources allocated for that, but I do know people. So if somebody calls me, I'm going to lead them to some of my business partners that can help them. But do we solely work with that? No, but we uplift and empower our people, and that's part of that. How can we say we're doing that and we're going to say, nah, but we don't do this? No, we don't. Call them. No, I'm going to be like, I'm going to take the call. What is it that you need? What kind of help? And then I'm going to try to assist you. But I'm not a specialist in that. I'm a specialist in helping people. So if you need some help, call me. I don't care what it is.
So I can call you any time of the night if I need some help.
I need some help.
Y'all hear it? Live, the Voyage Movement. Another thing I wanted to ask too, what you said, you told me the plans for the future. What you kind of told me that. Another thing, I don't really know. I know you said the empowerment and the things that you're teaching and all that. Are you teaching these kids about the definition of snitching? What a snitch is and what is not snitching? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's a big thing for me. And the only reason why I say that, with all the homicides and things that's going on, people know who are out here killing our children.
Right.
So I want people to have a better understanding of a snitch and when you snitching and when you're not snitching. So do you educate them on that? And the only reason why I say that, because that's a big thing right now. You know, and I think a lot of people have a problem with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing about that. Like, so we got in our sessions, right? You can't cuss, you can't disrespect the other person, you can't say the N-word. So when you do, you gotta give us money, which we call push-ups, jumping jacks, squats, right? So if you and me talking, and I'm over here doing something else, and you say a cuss word, and you say, and I say, hey, family, she just cussed. You might say, why you snitching? And I'm like, no, he's held you accountable. It's a difference between snitching and accountability, but that's just on the surface. Now let's go deeper though. So now, I'm gonna touch a couple. Let me just.
I really want you to.
So now, if you ain't in the streets and you a law-abiding citizen, it's your duty to your fellow citizen to hold anybody accountable that's breaking the law or infringing on anything that happens to you, your rights, your personal rights, your God-given rights, right? When we was growing up, the lady, we was standing in front of this lady's house selling drugs. She called the police every day. Did we get mad at her? That's what she's supposed to do. We got move down the block, right?
But did you hear what you said?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but now why are these kids not doing that? You think it's because it's taught in the home about snitching? You know, like to be honest.
Our culture is messed up though. Here's the problem with snitching though, right? I won't mess with you because you a snitch, but you my man, you a killer though. Or you my man and you done, you know what I mean? You raped somebody. So I just was talking about this the other day. I'm like, man, we are ostracized a snitch, but we gonna embrace a killer though. How sick in your mind? Who put that thought in your mind? Like, who?
So where do you think that? Because I mean, you've seen a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? So where do you think that comes from? Do you think it's the music, the household, the people, or you know what I'm saying?
It's miseducation. Or was it
something missed as a child? Because I think some of these kids, they had issues when they were young, and I think they just kept walking by. You know what I'm saying? And they never did receive any help. And then and I think the system too turns you into more of a criminal than what you were. Does that make sense?
I think here's the thing though. When your baby busts through the door, he's sweating, he's crying, and he got this gun in his hand, and you probably know he done made the worst decision in his life as a parent. How are you going to handle that situation? Right? You're going to take the gun, you're probably going to get rid of it, you're going to tell him to go get rid of his clothes. I ain't telling, but I'm saying you're going to protect yours, right? I mean,
yes,
I'm speaking in general terms.
Don't
answer. I'm speaking in general terms. Your first nature is to protect your baby, right? Now, once you get your baby to a sound, calm, and all of that, and you figure out, you do that briefing, then what happened? And then you cut that news on, you see that family's been affected. It's hard to turn your baby over to them, right? It's hard, because it would be hard for me, right? Let me speak for me. It'd be hard for me to take my son down and be like, go on, be 21 about what you did, boy. You know what I mean? Go on, be 21 about what you did, right? But the flip side is this. If I don't do that, I'm just waiting on him to be in that same predicament, right? See, a lot of times we be scared of jail. Jail saved me. I heard people say, I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. Man, listen, jail saved me. If I didn't go to jail, I was going to kill somebody or be killed. So ain't nothing wrong with some reforming though. And we don't want that chastising. Like, you got to pay. The wages of sin is that you got to pay your wages though, right? And our community don't want to hold nobody accountable. And that's the hardest thing about working in this city. I lived in the city. I'm going to Oakland at the end of the month. Everybody knows everybody. And I'm like, when I start peeling back the lamp, I'm like, so you, hold on. Y'all was friends. And this person, sit everybody down at the table. Let bygones be bygones, and let's figure out what we're going to do next. Because everybody knows who's doing what, and it's only a few pockets of them doing it. You know what I mean? And we need to figure out, get them some help and some healing.
Well, let me ask you something. So I've had some mothers, too, that they have reached out to people. Now, I don't know who, if it's downtown, because I know police officers are retro. And I know one Lexington is prevention. Mm-hmm. So where I'm going with this, I've had mothers to say, hey, Joe Blow, he's getting ready to kill somebody because his brother just got killed. and then it ended up happening, but nobody ever believed her or called these families. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to see.
It's hard because like you
how,
can't just go pick the boy up. Like you can't just go get him and say, we heard you. Like what do you do?
But can't you go talk to him because you just said you go out?
To
you know
him,
what
I'm saying, let's say I get that call. I talk to him right now. I mentor guys right now. They can't get in the car with me. Like you can't get in my car. But I mentor them from a distance, and I'm trying to get them relocated or whatever they need, right? Get them out of the city. But I'm not saying I know if they could go, but they done stuff where they can't come back from, and they're not safe in the city no more. You see what I'm saying? So, or they friends done something, they're not safe in the city no more, and we trying to relocate them out of the city.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I deal with these guys on an everyday basis. They gotta text me every day because I don't know if you made it through the night. Text me every morning. Then you get on this Zoom call on Sunday. Like we doing and talk to these guys from Chicago all across the nation, and they mentor them too.
Gotcha.
The same kids. So it's a lot of stuff that y'all don't know about that we trying to put in place. But I'm trying to get a house way in Minnesota or something. Everybody who ain't safe here, y'all go up there, you send me them down here. Like we putting that type of stuff in place. But One Lexion does prevention, intervention. I forgot what the E is, and then they do reentry too, right? So they in a few different areas. But what do you do with the information? What do you do with it? He can't be arrested for what he's thinking. You try to get him mental health. Is he gonna go or not? And then when all they know is revenge and they've been hurt.
Yeah, but the system had failed them though, because see the system. Because half of these kids are kids that you're talking about, they've had priors. Mm-hmm. So they've been in trouble before. Mm-hmm. So the system never really helped them. So the system failed them to me.
So what does the system look like when they help this kid? What do they do for a kid like that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Like, what's a successful?
In my case, they didn't help this young man.
Still locked up.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I wanna. Yeah.
So for me, this kid that killed my child, because a lot of people don't understand that. When they're in juvenile, a lot of times you don't get to hear their records. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't know, you know what I'm saying, until they go to big court.
Right. Okay?
Well, in my case, I was. So this kid had been in trouble all of his life. He went before the same judge for 4 years of his life. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he had been to DDJ. Mm-hmm. Okay? He had anger management problems. He had home invasion with guns, carjacking with guns. So the system, to me, failed him. So they should have kept him in the system until they helped him. You know, I don't see where they helped him. I don't see where they helped the mom. I don't see where they came in with some type of program to help. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I say. I blame the system. And don't get me wrong, that young man that killed my child, but I blame the system and the judge more than I do anybody. Because I feel that the system is set up for failure for people of color. And that's
Absolutely.
Just me.
I agree with you.
Okay?
I agree.
And I feel that some people are not in this, I don't think they out here playing the role that they need to be playing, or they're not in this journey for the right reason. Now, listening to you today and what you've been through, I have a better understanding. I think you in it for the journey. You in it for the long haul because of what you've been through in your life. There are some people that are in positions that ain't never been through that. And I think sometimes when you haven't taken a loss, you've never been in prison, you've never been in trouble, you see what I'm saying? You're not going to have a...
But that don't even qualify you for that makes you not qualified for the position.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I know.
You can't even have that position.
Right.
But I think for a kid that you're talking about, where's that village though? From us too though. Because what if the system didn't have mental health at that time? What if the system didn't have the right programming? They just knew to send them here, go chop some wood. Cause I done went all the way down by, what's that lake down there in Cumberland to visit them kids that I was mentoring. And I'm like, what y'all doing right here? Man, we go over here, we chop some wood, we get on this boat, we go over here. All right, what else are y'all doing? We go to school, but you get in trouble, man, that make you sit at that desk for 6 straight hours. If you get up, it turns into 12. So they, imagine sending your babies down to the sticks. Man, Billy, don't Well, man,
But can I share something with you? I sent my son, because he was being disrespectful, made him cut off his hair, his beautiful hair. Yeah. Sure did. I sent him to Fort Knox. Only because he was being disrespectful.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people, they don't know about that program at Fort Knox. It is an excellent program. Mm-hmm. You have to be a certain age. But I only sent him there because of him being disrespectful. He wrote me a letter saying, "Dear family, dear mama, I'm down here with people." He didn't even know that he was telling me about the young man that was going to take his life years later. He said, "I'm down here," but it wasn't the guy that took his life. But you understand what I'm saying? I've got this letter. I'm going to read it when I go to court, when I go to trial. Okay. He was talking about this guy sitting right here, but it wasn't him. He said, "Mom, I'm down here. Guys carjacking, and they did this and that." He said, "Mama, I don't belong here." I said, "Now you see, to stop being disrespectful." Right. You see what I'm saying? So I guess where I'm going, in order for us to
we got to create more than program. Imagine sending him to a program that we run, right? He gonna be around men like me. How he's gonna come back?
So my thing is this, Mr. Dumphord, and then we're gonna get off here. What time are we? I'm trying to keep
45. 46.
Oh, we done went past our time. Sorry. But let me just ask you this. So, how can we get mothers that's been impacted by gun violence? Because I've got a lot of mothers that's up under me, and sisters and supporters too. How do we get our kids involved, and even the ones that's on the other side that have left behind brothers and sisters where they're off to prison, or they have actually been the shooters? How do we get in contact with you? Because those are the kids that I think you should be mentoring to. So how do we get connected with your program or connected with you? Because honestly, a lot of mothers reach out to me because they're not happy with the programming of One Lexington, because they feel like they're not reaching out. And when they do reach out to One Lexington, which we're not going to get into that too much, we're talking about how can you, because I know you know, with what you're saying and what you're doing, a lot of these mothers, their children need that. Yeah. And is there an age cap with you? Because I know
we work with everybody, but I think it's unfair to put even though it's what they do, right? It's part of the job, to put all that on one organization, right? Because it's a government organization.
I fought the mayor more than anything. Sorry.
Yeah, but let's bring it back from downtown back into East End or back into West End, right? What are we going to do for ourselves to be able to stop that? Because if we stop killing each other, right? If we figure out a way to love on each other and teach these babies that you don't got to kill.
Give them hope.
Hold up, this emotion that you feel, it's okay to express because it's pent up emotion. If we can do our own internal healing, then we don't need a One Lexington. Them guys is out of jobs. The mayors, we don't need police. We don't need these things, right? So we gotta quit pushing it that way and bring it back. Because every murder that's ever happened in Lexington, one of us know who did it, right? Whether they still running around or not.
And that's not fair, though.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead. I don't think that's fair.
You don't think it's fair what?
I don't think it's fair that we walk around knowing, like, I could not walk around. You damn right, excuse me.
That's on us, though. That's our problem.
And I think that's a damn shame that, honestly, that does go on. And I don't think that is fair.
All across the nation, though.
Yeah, but we right here in Lexington. Let's talk about it. And I understand that's nationwide.
You got to think. We're probably at 20 murders right now. Chicago's at 537.
Oh, I know my uncle.
These are our babies, though. You know what I mean?
That's black people. That's our
like ain't no lines with me. I do a tally of all the numbers every year of how many young black men, women got murdered by gun violence every year across the nation, and the numbers it's unacceptable.
So let me ask you something real quick. So, and then we're gonna get off here Facebook Live. I know our time. But let me say this. So we have a mayor here, and she says, because you've not been in the meetings with the mothers and with the families, because they're survivors and everything, she doesn't think that there is a gun problem. They think they have it under control. When in 2021, when my son was killed, it was over 36 homicides. Okay, yeah, because when One Lexington. When their director, he just got hard and everything, but I had to reach out to him, and I'm not going to go there about that. But on where I'm going with this, So the numbers, to me, they have not really went down. They went up and maybe and then another thing, gun violence is real, but they only count homicides. They never count those people that get shot every day. They have to go to UK. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't count that. So gun violence is a issue and it is a problem.
I don't know. I think on the reports though, it talks about homicide. It might have a breakdown. I have to go back and read the last one. But what was the point though? What'd you say? Was there a question?
Yeah. Well, basically, what I was asking you, do you think that there is a gun violence problem here, or is it under control? And then another thing, they say that we don't have gangs. We do have gangs. Do you think we have gangs? Do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that?
All right. Of course, we got a gun violence problem, but
because the mayor says we don't.
I mean, because she don't live in our world, right? It's different worlds in Lexington. So in her world, it might not be one. We talk to these millionaires that own farms all the time. We're like, yeah, you remember that kid we talking to? Yeah, somebody got killed right in front of his house the other day. That's why we want them out here. Like I didn't even hear about it. You know what I mean? I didn't even know. I live 8 miles away. Right. So it don't affect their world.
Well,
right? But we know one death's too many. First of all, by gun violence or anything, right? It's the world we live in, right? But we have the ability to be able to control that. I'm going to be honest, we weak as a community. We soft. We don't want to deal with that problem. We'd rather push it off on somebody else. But these our babies killing our babies. How you going to ask somebody else to come and help us save our babies if we can't save our own babies, though? It starts right there for me every time. It don't go nowhere past, these is my babies, right? If I can't save my baby, ain't no way you supposed to be able to come over and save them. You can help me, but I got to be on the front line, right? The second part, you said, I'll be bad with this. My mind's bad. I've been taking Lion's Mane too. It ain't working. You asked me all about games. So when I see these young kids and they doing this stuff and they caught up in the music, the issue is this. When I was coming up, me, you, and my other partner, we was crew. It's my partners. They just said it's gang now, right? And it ain't the same because most gangs got, bylaws and they got, you know what I mean?
But what was the gang even designed for?
Come on,
Tell
community update.
But you
this
said that,
right here.
Yeah, that's what I want people to understand. That's what they need to understand.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you could say it's a gang problem because of, by definition, yeah. Why? How could it not be? But there's so many little pockets of it. It's like, dang, it's another one. Y'all three done got together and then y'all YBC's three. Like, what we doing here? And then y'all like this dude and somebody gonna get killed for nothing. Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of these babies I talk to, they scared to death and they want a way out. And I be trying to get them that way out. I'm like, bro, I know you scared. I can see in your eyes you scared to death.
Because there's an adult that's behind a whole lot of these kids.
And that's what some of the mothers tell me.
Do you hear what I said? It's an adult that snatches these babies up, especially when the mother has to work third shift. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm working on now, trying to help some of these mothers that have to work third shift. And they can't, they love their kids, but they got to work third shift. But I'm trying to make them understand sometime, once you have kids, your life is no longer yours. It's about your child. So you may have to take a pay, cut. I mean, I'm being honest.
I see that all the time where the babies
kids
is home all the time and I'm trying to work and go to school. I'm like, man, you 3, 4 babies in. You supposed to do that before.
Yeah, see, like that's it. And that's what we have to educate. We need to educate our youth, our young women, and our males. And I know, because like I said, when I was in court, like I told that woman, you failed 2 African-American children. You didn't help this one. He's going to prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mine's never coming back. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't even know mine. And another thing, like I told her, we lived in your neighborhood, honey. We lived in your neighborhood. My son was just visiting over here. Well, he wasn't even visiting. So where I'm going with this.
Don't ever forget that the system was designed to destroy us,
no,
though.
Honey.
Don't
and keep us divided. I say that all the time.
So the system is working. What are we going to do to combat? The system is systeming. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Kill and steal and destroy us.
What you said.
What are we doing to combat it? Because you got an open enemy telling you, yeah, I'm trying to kill you. I need you to help kill you. And I'm going to do some more killing when y'all done. And we keep saying, well, help me say no, I already told you what I'm trying to do. You figure out what you need to do to stop me.
Let me say this too. So at first I had a problem with the police. I don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. Not all police are bad. Mm-hmm. They lock up a lot of these kids. They get them. They take them downtown. But the judge is the one that don't do their job. And can you make me do you have anything to say about that? I'm trying to understand it because I don't understand it. We know the system is felons, but I'm trying to say they get the last say. They really do. I had a judge to tell me, what do you want us to do? Keep them locked up forever? Yes, until they make a difference.
So I done had mothers go in there and tell the judge, lock him up, and the judge would not do it. Like the mother saying, I can't do nothing with him, and the judge like, well, it's out of my hands right now, I can't. So we have to create.
So what do we need to do? How can we? I guess what I wanted to say, you need to work more. To me, I think we need to work more together. I think you should work more with mothers and families that's been impacted by gun violence. And and I think we should really, honestly, if it's nothing but once a month, we come together, mothers with the Voyage Movement, and we sitting at a round table trying to come up with a plan. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay with that.
And I'm going to tell you why I say that. We can help you out with your job a lot more than, and I'm just going to say this to one Lexington like you did say. And the only reason why I say that because there are mothers that do want to come and speak, would love to come and say, hey, this is going on, and you really listen because maybe this person over here, they didn't care about it. They didn't want to listen. See, you haven't sat in some of these sessions with survivors and the meetings, so you don't know. So you get to see one side of things, and you don't really get to see the whole picture. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I was up in Frankfurt with, Moms Demand Action.
Can I share something with you about Moms Demand Action?
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. It's your platform.
This is it, because it's called the Talk of the Town. We talk
about it. Speak on it.
Mom Demand Action, to me, they do not filter money back into our neighborhood, back into somebody like me. They are for mass shootings. And how many times do you see black people killed in mass shootings? We've had a lot of mass shootings here. Her daughter was killed in a mass shooting, and they don't do anything. You understand what I'm saying? Mass shootings for them, it has to do with the Whitmans more than the black.
That's why your organization is so key. Swag, y'all gotta be that for us. And
that's why I say we need. That's what I'm saying. We need. That's why I say we need to come together. Because let me tell you why. You know who backs them? Mike Bloomberg. That's big money. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Half of these mothers that's in Mom Demand Action, they never lost a child. Did you know that? They ain't never lost a child, and I'm not trying to be rude.
I'm an active member.
You understand? I won't, and I'm being honest. The Sandy Brook, you know how they had a mother start that organization. She didn't lose a child. She was at home homeschooling her kids. See, let me tell you something. When they killed, did you hear me? And big money. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's why real change happened.
You see what I'm? Okay, that's what I want you to see. So, and not trying to, throw no stones at nobody or shade on nobody. But if you've not, I guess, lost a child or been affected by gun violence in any way, you're never gonna know, and you're never gonna embrace this journey that we, you know what I'm saying, that we on.
I understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
It is different. I already know when I talk to y'all, it resonates on a whole nother level. Cause you said something the other day. You like, you ain't gonna never know how it feels, and it was truth. Like you can't even imagine it. Today, right?
Yeah, so, you can't imagine it. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something else. When somebody say, I'm sorry for your loss, you're not sorry for my loss, especially when it comes from downtown. You didn't even know my son to be sorry for my loss. I'd rather them say, I'm praying for you. I'm here for you if you need me. But I feel like it becomes to be a job. And that's what they're supposed to do. It's like, so I'd rather them have a recording when I call. Hi, I'm sorry for your loss. And we'll get back with you at 2 o'clock.
Robotic, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you because I did that. One of my friends had lost a loved one, and I gave them a kind of just cliche response, and they went off. They're like, me and you way closer to be giving me that response. I don't want that from you. And I had to sit back and hung up, and I looked, and I said, And they right though. Like I owe them more in that moment. You can't get or expect that from them though. They supposed to do that. That's what they supposed to say. I'm sorry, please. They probably trained in that, and that's not a knock on them. And they probably mean well. I mean, they probably are sorry though. How could you not be? You lost a child. But I understand what you're saying. If there's no real connection and meaning behind it.
Can I tell you something? Downtown, half of those people, they not sorry for your loss. They just doing it. They going to get a paycheck. They want to make sure that they get that paycheck every week. Half of the people that work downtown never call you. They don't stay on top of you. But you know why? They're understaffed. It's a lot of cold cases going on out here. It's just a lot. And the thing for me, that's why I said I go back to so you working more with mothers, with families, and we coming together because I see what you're doing. That's a good thing. Say that. We got to go because we do. I got to.
I work close with people that I genuinely respect and feel like we got a common bond or they in it for the right reasons, right? So I work with Divine, I work with One Lexington, Kenneth, Larry, I work with Damon, because I feel like they in it for the right reason. Now you might have had a bad experience, but I'm going to go to bat for them guys. I'm going to go to war with them guys. Them guys is genuinely here for the people. From what I see, I don't mess with people who ain't sincere, because God gonna remove them away from me. That's what He's been doing anyway.
Well, He's gonna move them away when they're not.
It might be your opinion, but I've been on calls at 3 a.m, getting texts at 3 a.m. from these guys that you know what I mean. Now ain't nobody perfect, and they might not be doing their job the way we feel like they would. But them guys that I work with, though, I will vouch for them, and I'm vouching for them now. Like, ease up on them. They doing the best. You might have had a bad experience. I know.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say a lot of mothers have. Listen,
and that's cool.
Because one thing, you're not. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not over here with us.
It's the weight of the world on somebody.
You know what I'm
you put the whole weight of the city on one program. It ain't on them.
But see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this. I always say One Lexington because I fought the mayor. I think that cool. When I say the mayor because I feel what she did, and I'm being honest. Because it's the talk of the town. I feel like she took and put 3 black men in a position to make us, to pacify us, and to keep this the Whitman's neighborhood, and keep them, you know what I'm saying, Jimmy on the spot, and they're safe. I mean,
some of it's political, but what they do with the position, she can't control. And them boys is putting in the work. I've been on boots on the ground with them. I'm just saying, I know people's heart. It's in the right place. Whether or not they get it right every time, I can't say. I'm not in every situation, but their hearts is in the right place. You can't judge an individual. You can't hold them accountable. If their heart's in the right place, then, let's work with them. Like, let's just keep seeing what it's going to be.
I'm not, that's nothing. I don't judge anybody. I go off of what I've experienced. So I can only speak on me. You see what I'm saying? I can speak on me. That's why I said that I would love to get with you, with other mothers, just so you can hear and just see what they're going through, have their, just really see what they have experienced, because sometimes I don't think you really get to hear and really know and see what we go through and the shit that we got to walk through when you lose a child. And I'm being honest.
I mean, like I said, I watched my cousin, I watched my aunt go through it. She's more of a, background. She ain't go hard. But I do. I want that. And the only reason why I say that, I wanted to have you on the show so that you could tell what the Voyage Movement was, what you do, the services that you offer. You all got to hear this. And like I said, I want us to come together because I want more mothers to let you really hear things that are not being done, that they feel should be, and to see how you got 10 mothers over here that they love One Lexington. That's why I let them come on here and talk, because it's called Talk of the Town. You tell your truth, but then you may have 10 mothers over here that they don't even know One Lexington. Yeah,
do you understand what I'm saying?
There might be awareness. We might need to create more programming.
That's it.
So,
you see, that's why I want us to come together. So we get ready to close down. Thank you for being here. I want to thank Terry Dumphord. Is there anything else you want to say? He's supporting this, the Voyage Movement. I just want to say this. Everybody knows that I do Berkeley It Really Does Matter Christmas. Hit me up on Facebook. I've got my Berkeley's website up. I need gift cards. I have over 75 families that I give back to. You can look on Channel 18 News and you can see all the things that Berkeley Really Does Matter has done. And I'm also, my son turned 21 in September. I have Berkeley's 21. I'm asking everybody to donate $21. I'm trying to give a scholarship in memory of my son called Berkeley's 21 Scholarship 2025. Okay. So please support. And once again, thank you for tuning in to the Talk of the Town. And thank you, Mr. Dumphord, for coming.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
I know. I hope you do.
I love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Let's go.